So today we got in this aluminum Scout catapult slash slingshot. Um, I'm sure I'm not the first one to get one, but I'm pretty close because I ordered it right when they were available. And I really have appreciated the Scout design. When I got back into shooting a couple years ago, I've been shooting all my life, but I hadn't gotten really serious about it for a long time. And so when I got back into it, I got a Scout off from Amazon. And so the Scout kind of got me back into shooting, and of course that evolved into all the catapults I have in there now. But so I had to try this aluminum one, and just to see, you know, any differences between that and this Generation 2, to see how, just to see if it felt better. It's just a pretty looking slingshot online. So I looked at it and I gotta have that in my hand, give it a try. So let's zoom in on it a little bit and let's look at the differences. As you can see, there are some clear differences in quality between these two. You can obviously see this one's heavier than this one because it's aluminum. This one is that plastic type material. I'm sure there's a name for it, but it's obviously a good quality material, but it's still much more inexpensive material than aluminum. This particular catapult has a lot of edges on it still. A lot of, if I was going to shoot this a lot, I would sand that down, for example, the edge right there. There's a lot of angles on this one. This one, apparently, they have taken this one from a handmade one and actually used the handmade one, maybe the original one, I don't know, to make this cast. You can see it's a little slimmer back here. It's just much more ergonomic to the hand. All the edges are smoothed off. You know, when you put this one in your hand, you can feel the angles to it. When you put this one in your hand, and of course when you put this one in your hand, you want to start sanding. And you know, okay, I want to sand this, I want to sand that. It's good catapult, but it's not as smooth as this one. As you can see, the sleek lines on that one. So this one just feels really good. That just fits right perfect in there. Of course, you have your place your finger here. I hold it like this. That's why I have a huge callus there from the way I brace my slingshots. But this is how I would grip it, like this. And then when I shoot, I have my finger and my thumb out like that. So this is just ready to go. The weight, the extra weight, is helpful in when you're shooting target shooting. It gives you extra stability. It doesn't react as much to your squeezing your hand or torquing your hand, or when you're target shooting and you're trying to precision target shoot. Just the slightest pressure of your hand on a lighter frame can throw your shot off a little bit, whereas the heavier frame is a little more forgiving. And also when you draw it back, the bands just feel lighter because you have such a solid brace to pull it off of. So it also, if you wanted to go with heavier bands on here, it just makes them a little more easy to pull, and it's a little bit of a shock absorber when you have a heavier frame. So there's a lot of advantages to having the heavier frame. It's just not, this is not a first slingshot. You don't want to take your first shots with this one, because it will put dents in it if you hit it with a ball bearing that you just can't fix. This one will take hits and not hurt it. This one, you'll see dents if you hit this with ball bearings. So you don't want this to be your first one. But for $95, you know, it'd be hard to get a custom made one. You can't get a custom made one that cheap, and basically this is a custom made one that will fit most people's hands. Obviously you can shoot it all the ways, you know, pinch grip, brace, hammer, all those ways are still available. I prefer a little kind of a combination of brace and pinch. That's how I shoot. So let me take a few shots with it down range and see if I can get a group right off the bat with this. first shot, you should do this on the first shot, because otherwise what happened to me will happen to you. The first shot when the bands are cold is not going to be a good shot. You want to do this and warm them up a little bit. So we'll see if we can improve. The bands warm up, and as the Slingshot, these are a brand new set of bands. Yeah, as the bands warm up a little bit and you start getting adjusted, you start getting a group a little bit more. Let's try at least one more. Okay, so I just got this today, and not my regular target shooter, this, but I do enjoy shooting it, and so my first shot was here, and that's the cold bands, and then as the band started warming up and I started getting an idea, we were basically able to stay in here. Had one straight out there. Not bad at all, and you know, not perfect, but I'd take that most days. Most of them are in the 2-inch area, but it takes a little getting used to. It's a new frame, and you know, I mean, this is real life. I mean, you can't hit the bullseye every time, but it definitely is something that I could adapt to and say, okay, I could take this catapult, make it my regular shooter. I would probably put TheraBand Gold on here and adjust it to me, make the bands a little longer, you know, that would fit me. But to take one out of the box basically and have it just come today and just shoot it and be able to get that kind of group, I'm fairly happy with that. So anyway, this is highly recommended. It's the aluminum cast Scout from Simple Shots, and there's no pock marks in it. It's just really well done. Very pretty, and basically one that I'm going to keep in my collection. Probably won't shoot this a whole lot. It'll be hanging in the office, but something that you have to have. So